Abusuya asamosi na ensemo a ebobo e wa befo ntenta fi de kese no kam yesi e ba beto abai ensem na eba no ebi mu odu chema no ebi mu odu ankasa na we ya me de ebrew yewura Kweku Anyidoho yewura Atameos abreso NDC penipa wode ensem ya ba beto dwa se yewura John Dramani Mahama na omanfo ensi ne fom wo mo pagya ne soro no wo trese ne tirimu din wo ye wicked mo bi nye bi na ne nsema wo kani na ne nyina so ene se yewura abrante bi ane din e de Dela Edem so ya abrante so ya abofra because wo tie ne kasema wo hunu sa abofra na ne nsem ya wo de atu dwa no enna yewura Kweku Anyidoho etene ntine no wo ka se yewura John Dramani Mahama ennim de ekoso but instead of saying yewura John Dramani Mahama be address no wanye na this is not the first time yewura Kweku Anyidoho ankasa kura kire se wo ma ye ne bi ya omo ekatre omo be katre no publish say Kweku Anyidoho person ku John Dramani Mahama Kweku Anyidoho person ku John Dramani Mahama na adade na ni nem yewura John Dramani Mahama ekoduru nanim nanso instead of saying ko be address no address eno ntino we enya de foforo emma no say wo be ma abrante us abofro yakwa kodidi yewura Ghana mampeni da John Ajakum Kufuor atem nti wo trese enya no wanwa sansa de yakoso bia na yewura John Dramani Mahama woni mu bi entie yewura Kweku Anyidoho mra eba ebeto so
ne eno na ba besue yem politics mu na opinion beka se wan tete obayi nti ena okokasa tia obi obabi pie no kokasa mbia obisa hinaba o papa se mesiba o se ne bo anya ntete we de ntine we anya ntete o papa ne mpodi sande ono oyawa na oyawa manfo okurum ha nti se ne ba ya obi a any news Kweku no kware
well jao yenchia etiefo ne ahwefo today Wednesday 21st November 2024 of course I mean the whole idea mse nanu me baha nkomo edi efa candidates ne ho and then nyame bi titiwa ese Ghana for so mbehwe
so much to aba
su ne ban character is one of the main reasons why Ghanaians are going to vote in 2.5 weeks time. So straight to the point, yes, President Kufour, born in as the patriarch of the new patriotic party, the patriarch, living patriarch, say MPP ene, Yereka MPP, one sema, one faribai, one penny, our tiase, President Kufour. From 92, Eduboy, and Ostati, it was President Kufour who won the presidency for them in 2000 and did 8 years. So he's a living icon for the new patriotic party, the political tradition. Yes, or a statesman. But he's a politician. He lived all his life as adult life as a politician. Ne bonini say osi baby ade ne duro ota Dr. Bawumia chi. Yes, otaniti he gave reasons how feel say Bawumia is fit to be president after Nana Akufo-Addo. And I don't blame President Kufuor. He's a politician. He's a politician. Yeah, he's a politician, and now some of him, or he's hearing things. Because some of the things that are going on in the ground, ye po ye ni MPP no yeti. Say Alan Chremanting, Kufour, Edem nam titru Ashanti region. Say President Kufuor tanwechi. Yeah, it is politics. And John Mahama ngasa ne kan saying troka kra no kreka kra.
Now they are fra.
Brother troka kra. So there are people using President Kufuor's name, especially in Ashanti region, that Kufuor is supporting Alan Tremanting. and that he doesn't want Bawumia to win. You think that President Kufuor hasn't got intelligence?
Oh, that's what I feel.
A former president for 8 years. Ashanti Memusun of Ufri. Or say Deshi.
Info.
That is what I have heard. So if some and when I saw Alan Tremantin's video clip yesterday, and the President Kufuor, giddy. Say President Kufuor penny one yani oye. What to for no person otie efuto ben.
O say enumpo na why man mo fara no ya no.
Good. So it means that he's endorsing the insult. Alan Tremantin who refuse nanu ya President Kufuor was endorsing you. And they deny there.
Papa.
You see? Koto de nebodwe. Etu ya yonko wa etu adua ho.
Na ni political career mpono, memfan say President Kufuor na a thrown into the political mirror.
That is the more reason why it was easy for the group to be doing damage on the ground in Ashanti region. That Kufuor is supporting Alan Tremantin. He was feeding into it. Alan, apart from Kumasi, our bank crying 2 days, 3 days, no Kumasi, he Fabium Portinara or your campaign.
There be.
So the agenda is to be in Kumasi and destroy the votes in Kumasi. One of the weapons of mass destruction, and in Kufour, who use your ground is President Kufuor Tanwachi. Intina, apart from UPSA, Oba Bontin Kakra, Ebetina Nipem, yes, or support Bawumia no. On Kasa Ebium. Political propaganda. And there's a section of the MPP that was believing that propaganda from the Butterfly family. President Kufuor said, hey, I'm going to Ashanti region. The late Achimping Oye Nei Kashi Ashanti Mainina Bodom. But of course, before that, the statesman, the politician that he is, he engaged the media and not say, I support Bawumia. And he said, Nipa P won't tickle apai.
Osi, Oshe, Mera Yawumi dia. Okeri, Onga President Dinoa. Na Bawumia na Owen is a dihua.
Look, let me tell you a certain story. And I know it for a fact. Because it may be a chemo. Now me interview for President Mills' new biography.
Okay.
So I had to go and interview President Kufuor, former President Kufuor. Yeah. Okay. In fact, there's a picture of me. Maybe I could even give it to you to put on the screen anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But I had to go and interview him as a former president, a senior statesman. What he knows about President Mills, because you want to interview all kinds of people.
Into answer.
Oh yeah. Oh, that time not Spanner Junction.
Okay.
Yeah. But apart from that, Pedroasiha, Marco Hosopeng.
Okay.
And he allowed me in to discuss national issues. Says on your president,
you.
Into
a statesman.
Into Ohianipa.
You.
In Dinko. Exactly. But what made me get attached to President Kufuor recently? Attached. About 2.5 months ago, Minya Kabila, James Kwamnabon, Virginia, Nikubi Awate writes for youth with disability.
Okay.
And our partner, Kufuor Foundation, to have an event at AMA next to Moving Big.
Okay.
Or conference center and here in Shemuno and at Amos Institute as a policy think tank. Kabila Tunes are framing. So I went.
See you.
So I went. That was the first time I met President Kufuor at close range, sitting in his wheelchair.
Okay.
It was after that I now visited
the house.
Pedro, so put it in perspective. So about 3 months ago, I met him for the first time. And it touched me. Seeing him in a wheelchair. disability for one program. And it was, like I said, a collaboration between the Kufour Foundation and Bonfene Rights for Youth with Disabilities. Apparently, Bonfene PhD had to do with breaking the myth surrounding disability in Ghana. So that's what he got his PhD in at Cape Coast University. Now, President Kufuor spoke, and I was touched by his words. Also, 10 years ago, if anybody had prophesied that I will be in a wheelchair,
so be shared and come say,
I could be shared and come say, me President Kufuor, and I said, J. Kufuor, and ka ene, me deni bubu afu amite, akonye wem aye de tie share say pia, and ka Michael says any pano ya commission bonny. On permasem into nourishes ag bonny. But ene mini John Ejekum Kufuor. Se menya mema kentinka
mpiamia
ba se nsia ansuso mimu.
No also attention gram ne mu yeduru papa.
Thank you, gentle giant. Mintumi nya hwe. E kam akuma. Then Boache Jakon was also at the program. A drew nesu se obekasa no they the far Bible. No the theology bemu. No say a free da Nyankopon Pam Adam na Eve oye won bone na opie won so
no pam won fit through ni mu no
pam won free Garden of Eden no humanity has been disabled. Like what? He theologized around disability. And so sin bone is all part of our human disabilities. Because we are not clean any longer. Yehunya crudging you.
Sena Adam nifti ho no wan yare mpo.
Good. But you say afide oba obefafunu obebre obechim.
Abosumi akono.
Asana wawo.
Emu fifiri.
Be ma obetim we fifiri.
Yo.
Wo be kawo na echi. Wo de soso be bofem.
Apa ya abokura nsana modidi.
That was the beginning of the disability of humanity. So theologically speaking, that is why we have all sinned and falling short of the glory of God. And the disability just manifests itself in different ways. Nora, I had to go to somewhere for a little bit of therapy on my shoulder. That's a form of disability. Because I am out.
You.
People are going and buy a grousy with
you.
So
Kweku,
thank you. So back to the substance of the issue. So the former president, belonging to a political tradition, endorses the presidential candidate of his political party. When did you be at him? One can say we nye. O se me deno and the money. Saying to ye mammy no. And he said, say. And President Kufuor, like I'm saying, when I went to interview, he told me a story. I was in Bawumia. Time I know President Kufuor, president. And Polakwa, the governor of the Central Bank, Bank of Ghana.
You.
Into near per deputy governor. And on of Kufuor. None choice here, Alasan and Dani. Satam na or Barclays. Into on no President Kufuor, a choose Alasan Dani, you know. 2-3 days later, and I will appoint Alasan Dani as MD of Stanbic Bank. So he had now left Barclays to Stanbic Bank. And of course, I spent about 10 years in the banking industry. So those days, Metropolitan and Allied Bank, Bibena Mewono. Now Stanbic, you know, with the same building, Valco Trust House.
Wow.
It was Regia. Yeah, I was 10 years in the bank.
Let's just say, why are you my bank, Papa?
Oh, yes.
When now when you open a selling Katiana, bank, you may Maya.
Oh, you Yan can say, I don't know, okay, Uncle na manu Uncle Parry. Anyway, so when Polakwa came and said Alasan Andani has gotten an appointment as MD of Stanbic, and Polakwa, Kai, or no President Kufuor said, but there's that young man, Bawumia. You remember we met him at a function in London?
That's 2003.
Good. And his presentation, you know, how lucid, erudite, he was eloquent, you know. And I say, yeah. Oh, that young man. I don't have a problem. You can give it to him.
Mm.
That is how he, Kufour, started engaging Dr.
Bawumia.
And he said, Bawumia kase President Kufour ne dua bano. And ananado abegusu nsuwa. The fare by them. So President Kufour is not pretending. It's not pretending. So he goes to endorse Bawumia. And then NDC mebno say, where kranya NDC mebno? John Mahama Nenkola. Because it's not about NDC. No, I am NDC. So that is not our culture.
Okay.
These are boys associated with John Mahama. It's as simple as that. Now, Mankasa Minfame Hun Ensha Mimi. You are insulting President Kufour. And na Nyankopon ne chianeka. Intina. Or wheelchair. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I mean, when I heard it, Dela Edem. VGG. You see, but there's a trend that has been established by John Mahama. I mean, there's a trend that has been established by John Mahama and around John Mahama. And he's saying, me. And then 20th
25th
November.
20th, yeah.
Good. 3 days ago, 17th November. Exactly 4 years. I'm see me baba. 8.5-year-old girl. Sichope Ablavi, Mivomawu Anyidoho. Yes, adopted child, my own daughter. Thank you. She passed on the 7th of November, 2020. And I buried her on the 17th. So just 3 days ago, I was in Tanyibe, my village.
Okay.
And I Kosa Hubochi, what dare your doji? I'm in the insurance. And they got to.
Over the lapper. Okay.
Now, we, your mama and the boys, this group of people, what's it? Ochia. Yeah. Ukokwanyido ochia. Obayu. Unyangunji. Say when I won't pay John Mahama Nasem. And I will John Mahama Nam, Togo, Benin, India. Hey, fine.
And I was reading.
You say me, John Mahama, Nenkwan free.
Oh.
Yeah. And I mean succeeding tea. Timo ding and makukumiba.
Yeah, buffering.
Yeah, for it. Me kumiba at the Nimoja. Akoye different level of okay.
You
different level of Nyankumade. Say me John Mahama and free. Oh yes. They were saying these same boys on radio. What can these same platforms? Or can you have a do baby no? A guy called Jifagunu. Ita mebe Mahamade. Nuya homo lekle miya volta tori. Nuya jimo lekwe poge. Be miya pepeto. Taflache. Agbami. Kake de vio mak poma hijeme o. So, ne joko pekbe vio ko udona. De doya fume figbe. Be mi va dompe miya dokyo. Miya vio mak goma semori. Oha ulorema. Eyime. Yes. That's what, look, if you don't understand, you don't understand. There's a conscious effort, especially after the death of Rawlings. Some people say the Rawlings era is over. So Volta region, they want to dismember Volta region. Oh yeah, that they want to take the NDC away from us and make Volta hewers of wood. And what do you call it? Drawers of water and hewers of wood. Hold on. So they went and got a certain guy called Jifagunu. So he decided on the on non kabium and not Troy or Krataso. Long article. Anyidoho murder's daughter, killed daughter, this. A Yenasi Kramanko. I was so wicked, I'm so callous, I didn't even go for the burial. Blah blah. Oh, all kinds of things. At this point, I said, no, enough is enough. As we speak, the matter is in a Tema High Court. Yes. It's pending in a Tema High Court. And guess, Hina Noye Jifagununi lawyer. Eduji Tamaklo. The boy na Mahama Nanui Okadik to Edison so pine. Say on the director of legal. Eduji Tamaklo. Ono na Jifagununi lawyer. And in Jifa Gunu's write-up, no. So I say John Mahama na me person me ku John Mahama. So it means that John Mahama is the one they are fighting for. It's John Mahama's bidding that they are doing. And John Mahama sits around it. No feeder. And they say Kufour dey John Mahama no feeder. He will pretend he hasn't heard. How can you be a leader? How can we trust you with leadership? When you pretend that you don't know about these things happening around you. What's the penny? Utifie na mufrano every nanka.
Woka nanka refua.
Una ye chief nanka refo. And you be na John Mahama they be good NDC, you know. And so these boys draw their energy, their strength, their passion from John Mahama's tacit approval of the things that they do. But men can't quite say nanu ye wokroma na John Mahama nankasa. Osati didi amam for them. Or ye are wasofo. Ye are imams. Imam ye are ayinfo. Ye are traditional leaders. So ye nyachu. Didi want them. Say Argentina Bawumia ba utumi tie nasem keke. Awo bompai man. Won shen komo. O bompai keke. We didi want them wie no. Afi we didi do so de. Ou de nada income share. Or income share part 1. Income share part 1 and 2. Or part 1 one crime. And another income share part 2. Ewa kumasi.
Gana fimana.
Oh, part 1 and 2. I said diabolo na.
Chewa. And the flow.
Income share part 1. Or in crime. 1st October. And income share part 2. Ewa kumasi nani. Tama na Bawumia wo Kumasi Ashanti region. Re Juma night and day 47 constituencies. Entering every constituency. Ode ko ye income share wo UST lecture theater bi. Uwe na free Ashanti region. Income share and now be win sa election. And he said President Kufour in his state. He says, "Look, I will go to my people and go and speak to my people. Now you are angry. And these boys are insulting. They lie them and not starty. And Abu Frabi so friend of Samuel Hunto. La. But you see, John Mahama say, yeah, a short memory. But John Mahama nangaza. First of all, so we join from. That you are a dead goat. Then you say short memory. The things that you say, John. And then 2016. Samu Fraibia led by Mugabe Mase Ewo Muntie and Okudidi Ajaji Fuatem Kan Semen Semfata se Monatuo Bibemu then I was say baby I didn't kono Yema mining kosa and watina se Ofiemu and was one could do 4 months. Of course, I was Deputy General Secretary of the NDC at the time. Until because of Mugabe in Krofui, for the first time, Anyidoho, I entered in Sawam maximum
medium prison.
Yeah, maximum.
Medium.
It's only medium. Maximum one kafu. Okay. Yeah, medium.
Yeah.
It's a one medium security prison for the first time. And I entered. How for do? I want to make a Master, sometimes young crophobia, you say young womb, you know. Oh, 1 year.
Ampa, when you pass it, our modia.
Boys be a Miko, young womb area. Ogo,
I want to say your coverage.
Thank you. But I'm an Bobby and him into but on a more serious note. So I entered that place for the first time to solidarize with these boys. Eventually, John Mahama granted them amnesty, presidential pardon. He has the prerogative of mercy. But when you are exercising your prerogative of mercy and you exercise it capriciously, you pay a high price for it. So boys here, I will release you on mono. 2016 in Kugono, 1 million votes. Account. People were very angry. people were very, very angry. That no, you don't do that. You don't do that. And I know people. And now at that time, at security level. Also, tune for say, Master, don't do. Oh, there be. But any boys. Minty. And would the attempt? Then release you. Or the omumbra na mumbe koso no mundi attempt na unto me second term na the other 2 minutes be on fanye. But you see, history has a very interesting way of repeating itself. Mugabe Mercy, me amina me kind history has an interesting way of repeating itself. Mugabe Mercy. Ni program so and they let them could start this idea with Didi President Kufuor them.
Two parties in you see 2016 no. Edem for ni na rebeyana.
Well, say asem kese ba Frank Nsiso. So John Mahama, former president, when you allow yourself, they say the audio actually be befi.
One of them wants to buy.
These same boys, John, if you're not careful, they will lead you. They will lead you to where they led you to in 2016. At least history has it. That make Anyidoho. 2016. Me press conference. Me say John Mahama, you are in a comfortable lead.
You. When I yes, sir.
Of course, Deputy General Secretary.
Comfortable lead.
And Sana, who John Mahama, who come out, Sasso. Send Kitiajina on chain. What Jimmy baseball cap? What yo. You know, and the energy said, concede defeat. But the factors that led you to concede defeat, today, the same boys, 3 weeks to election. Other than so for no be no more on Sato Bahamas no, after they were issue.
Oh, Samum.
Me, I've seen it. I've seen it on social media.
Sedenti.
What's it? Abba. Adena moyesa. Dela dem. Dela. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. You got to about 3 weeks. Now chimyesaka.
Na just abankwana hure guye.
Hey.
Abankwan se de esija so na. Ne ede no.
Adena Muhammad sa. Adena Muhammad sa. Na mo be didi. Kufuor na mo ko didi atem. Kufuor na mo ko didi na atem. Yeah. Dela de na moye. See, yes.
Let us say, ebe affected bi wo hu.
What are you talking about? Look, in the last, before this whole thing, Stefan said 2 weeks ago, a 3-4 days continuous. Now me share different MPP people. I want boefu. Yen tuaba. Yen boefu. Of course, and it's natural. One kasa one party.
Yo.
But one boefu. Into one to aba. It's natural. It's normal.
Oh, so beyond
good. Yesterday, I met 2 of them. Kweku, we have changed our mind. We vote, and I'm saying, we are not voting for MPP. We are voting for Kufour.
Sedenti.
Because is this what John Mahama is bringing?
Oh,
when John Mahama deba say. Kufuor do ne Bawumia. We super on sano. Umi. O de Kufuor so. Sebe una uka tre Bawumia se onye wo level. Mahama also Kufuor onye wo level. I'm telling you. So now they buy. Say Bawumia onye wo level. Ti Mahama also Kufuor onye wo level.
Okay.
Yes, it is true. Monkeys play by sizes. Kufuor is 85 years old. Mahama where dey? Kufuor started politics. Now Mahama won. Yes. I'm telling you. Because if Mahama is even 65 and Kufuor is 85, that's 20 years difference.
And when he was 28 years, he was a foreign minister, right? Deputy foreign minister.
So if it's a 20-year difference and he was 28, and that means John, you're what? 5 years or 8 years?
8 years.
Yeah, so 8 years. You were still in Pampers, 8 years. Now, so Now he did 8 years as president. You didn't do 8 years. You are struggling for another 4 years. So Kufuor level. As we speak now, President Rawlings Oko. So in the Fourth Republic, Kufuor is the senior most statesman alive. Rawlings Tiasia and Rawlings won him because it is according to At times Odi Kufuor Oko. Rawlings Odi Kufuor him Oko. So Kufuor is occupying a very unique position in Ghana now. That's why Miko Anyidoho, forget about NDC MPP. If I think I must go to President Kufuor for the sake of downloading knowledge about this country, I will go. Because sebe minyobia mini President Rawlings Ayejuma, mini President Mills they will be him, but it's not Kufuor any experience. And I saw President Mills giving honor to President Kufuor, a bribe commission, sir, N1 highway. President Mills gave President Kufuor honor by inviting him to the commissioning ceremony. Me how they say. So Joe Mahama, Kufuor on your level, President Kufuor on your level. On your level. When I go for a level, I said by. No! Crowd. Kufuor manya how no. Bedanaka gomo. You couldn't dash view the view Kufuor Jumnenema. The net effect of the colossal damage that John Mahama is causing himself, he has no idea. Say, I say, one man, no journey free, Kumasi no come or yeah, and come share part 2. I will journey free Kumasi no. And I say, one man here now, a quite some campaign war. Ubema no to me, no banner with me. Let's get serious in this country.
And
I'm Malam Yamo, Mohamio. That Dela, first of all, first of all, there must be another name attached to his name because Kenya Dela Edem. There's no name like that in Africa Mocho. Dela Edem. Yeah. Exactly. Good. Ebia. So he has hidden his surname. And not Dela Edem. And the politics of So he must have a surname. Anyidoho. Anyidoho Jimko. But the man you are good. Uba Bamabiasa. Uba Chega. Uba Kudolo. Uba Kuglanu. Uba Haligan. Unkolama Kenya Dela Edeba. And he's supposed to be a teacher, a trained teacher. Yes, Nakasa Noka some time ago. Oh yeah. Junamako. Eto Konyama Juju. Junama. The Vima Jum Petepo. This same Mugabe. And I'm saying that Mugabe, Koko Anyidoho, you Mugabe, and ne, una be creative platform. Saying did the mematem. Mugabe. Whoa. Unye Mindomeo. There was a book I read years ago when I was doing O-level literature. Great Expectation. Yeah. One of the texts, the standard text at the time. And there was a phrase in it. Never be ungrateful to the hand that once fed you.
Okay.
Yeah. Ashia do ashire bokbo alo amei do ashire bokbo. And now no na dure. Umatona magwadoni. Dia wabo open.
Insa and
I'm saying that Mugabe should come and tell me whether I didn't come to not once, not twice, maybe in some prisons. As for the other matters, at the Lamagbonaika town, Timadaso. But for the first time in Kansas, I was in some medium security, not once, not twice. Because of who I was at the time, graciously so. Me call commander in the office. So Mugabe and co were invited to the commander's office.
Because of you.
Because of me. Because of me. So when you come out today, Mugabe, said John Mahama, they put you up and it is Miko Anyidoho that you insult. Bakwe Kwabna Bobi answer. Also another issue. He told me caught with him the same time I got.
Wow.
Oh yeah. You see? And these are boys that I once trained.
Okay.
This is not how I trained them. But today, what's it? Warrior Mahama. And the only way to get into Mahama's heart is to insult Kweku Anyidoho. Maybe the more I am is the best place I can go is to court. I'm in Jifa Gunuo because I need to clear my name. You say I'm a murderer. I have 4 other children. I don't clear my name. For them to have a clean surname. Because I'm coming to you. So if I'm being accused of murdering my own daughter, I must go to court and get judgment.
To clear your name. To
clear my otherwise one day my children will be the so I'm in court. Mahama has not bothered once. If you are a real father, this matter, can we take it out and settle out of court?
Out of court.
Because he's not got the moral turpitude. He's not got the moral turpitude. And that is where John Mahama is lacking in leadership. The moral turpitude. To call people to order. No. And they use his name. And they do it in his name. Into Sam George. Didi. Asofwatem. Because, what's it? Bawumia. Deacon. And I say, Pentecost. Sorry. Good. So the church should begin to purge itself of charlatans. The apostle Eric Nyamichenom. One Pentecost is full of charlatans, according to Sam George. And he's doing it in the name of John Mahama. And John Mahama is quiet. Onkasa. This kind of leadership. And now you insult President Kufour, insult all Ghanaians, not even Ghanaians, worldwide, living with disabilities, in wheelchairs. It is God. Meanwhile, in my Bible, what's a Drew baby? If you have no beside Jesus Christ, say bubu afo ya na say ni freni ya na ni afra Nyankopon na etwa
na so na say ne papa be boni a waye.
It's in scripture. This person.
No say na be ya Onyankopon ni unyam be dead.
Thank you. It is so that God will be glorified. No, it is not because of the sins of the fathers or for anything. It is so that God's name will be glorified. It is other me can say me tina Kufuor nchen. It was our program. Okase Nyankopon ne hihye. Enye nipa da se ne hihye. He has taken it in good stride and is living with it. And then you delight them. Samuel Hunto. And back, another one be all over the place. All in the name of John Dramani Mahama. Need to be our painty. And so let's insult. So John Dramani Mahama, you have your own cross to carry you. Me Kweku Anyidoho. I say, Maka, what I saw June 4th, May 1579 with my eyes, growing up in Bema camp. The me papa ne me mami chere me. What the EP church has taught me. The Jerry Rawlings chere me, the Tamils chere me. Your Mahama, I will not allow you and your politics to destroy me and my destiny. So forget it. Intina mean pain no. My pain. And Nankasa will say, oh, he doesn't want me. I thank God. Look, so I trade for now, you call it 2018. I'm a general secretary. Ajo Mahama Nkasa ebe too chalk.
It's a sabotage upon sabotage.
Look, obe too chalk will trade fair.
What's what chase ka wo ho?
O sabe ka se bibi o. Look, and I've never spoken about that deal, but I saw a lot of things.
Kweku said ne see the penny mo.
Now, NDC Congress. Now, best 3 days you voting. Yes, a line in free and a 4. Nanipa 20, 30, 40, 50, I vote to. Obe one your announcement said, hey, after you raise a line in free.
Next day, ni na Kweku.
Babaka. Hey, Kweku. He will not become general secretary.
The bull.
Mamma mia. But you see, when I look back, God, Joseph, not catch any new animal. So you people meant it for evil. But the God I serve, he meant it for good. Sometime now, Jacob, what in the Israel. Well, who? Because Joseph found about Mizrim. And I don't go to Goshen. The choicest part of Egypt at the time. So
Minister for Food and Agric. Only Papa. That's all man baby not.
Good. Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
So was here Jacob we you know. Afi ni anamo. Charlie Papa wo. Ye bra your own show, and say, hey man, you people meant it for evil. But God turn it around for good. For me to be here in this time and this season to save you people. So don't worry, Papa is dead, but hey, Master, forget it.
Life must go on.
I say it, I tell my Joseph story. Can you imagine if I was General Secretary of the NDC? And all the things that John Mahama Reye, against my upbringing, against my conscience, against my spirit, against the God I worship, against my church doctrine, I'll have to stand up against him. And when I stand up against him, then they will accuse me. Say, me na me mpese party ni beba power. And so one share, then they will destroy my political career. So God said, Kweku, let them cheat and let them do everything. But I'm setting you aside for another time and another season. Not this time. He doesn't want you. It's not John who doesn't want you. It is I, Jehovah, who is setting you aside because this line is not part of your destiny. Your destiny was Atamil's. And he brought John to be his running mate. No problem. But if Atamil's is gone, your destiny is not John. Step aside. I'll put you on destiny's track. And I'm on destiny's track. So all the mess going on in the NDC today, one fine day, people will say, but Kweku said it. And I said, I'll give thanks to God Almighty. John Mahama, oye.
Kweku, you 3 minutes.
Yes, oye.
Kweku,
so today, men of God, heavy men of God, yesterday, who's it? Enra, Professor Kwesi Yanka. Of course, I used to read him way back when he was writing the Words of a Quadrant. Every Saturday, Nayeto, Mirror, Words of a Quadrant. Subsequently, it was PAV and Papa. Papa was my real motivator. Anyway, but when I read Professor Kwesi Yanka's piece yesterday, Gentle Giant in a Wheelchair, I'm saying, John Mahama, view Fama Jujua, and Namachichoga Gamre Trokboma. Yes. Who know the dome? Oga Gamre Pogauma. Ochikomdani, Ogbedomra. Agbado ma vupo, agbuma vukata ubum. But hey, did you mama you go? Where you go? And in Professor Yanka's piece, he said over 8,000 or 8 million something. He said it was 800,000 people living with disability. If they should all decide to vote against you, John Mahama, where will you be? And funnily enough, interesting enough, it was President Kufour who introduced the Disability Act in 2006. You see how God is?
Mayata, Apatama, Flyover Clear.
President Kufour introduced the Disability Act. President Mills came, created the Disability Council with Ivan Greenstreet and co, and then set aside a percentage of the District Assembly Commons Fund for the Disability Council. Why? John Mahama, you came and you appointed Dr. Seydou Dana, Minister for Chieftaincy Affairs. Is that not it? The first visually impaired Minister of State in recent times. Wonderful. President Kufuor has come.
Niana can say, Osha, Kufuor time no. Bridge away ya, wafa so look kwani na woye fakwa so bi kuta wheelchair.
And I make us say,
obetumi apia de afa.
And I make us say, so one fan. And I'm saying disability comes in various forms. So if you want to talk about disability, it's broad. So even if you go back to even PNDC law 111, it's part of taking care of a certain section of the vulnerable in society. So obia ina famude. Nanado, ina famude. So if Bawumia is now saying that as we progress, persons living with disability, when they get admission into tertiary education, as part of supporting them, their tertiary education is free. Nanu was the cocoa farmers. And I was listening to Educhum. I had heard it on Farmers Day, but Educhum gave broader explanation. What's it then? Because of free education. Into cocoa scholarship. Here, SHS level biom. Why then? One upgrade at the university
level.
Into cocoa cratch funo. Wa pay a passbook no correct. A wo ye bibia pepepe no ba no afi scholarship no education tertiary education level.
Every secondary.
Upgrading.
Ako university.
They have upgraded it. Into warriors had nyina na Kufour say sa upgrading na warrior no. Into na me se me bay. E bay Nyankopon ne pe. Ene won obeto aba won to mana na Mahama won kwala na be didi na tema. Abra wo de 24 hours nightclub ni discotheque reba. Etu joma manakasa. Ya dofo. For moi chala gbate.
Kweku mi
te sale denje.
Mi te bien yanko.
Okay. Wo she osuko ofe mi. Sale denje. Boni ba nyene gbire na.
Agbona wa logo.
Ekwena himu ne ga cho opongo bompi. Alo gawa. Aye opongo jikome. Gawa ke bompi. Ke amegbe na race course. Na anyana ame ya race don. Ame ya tudu, ame ya blakomi ke kiosk. Na ko pongo jeni blakomi ke kiosk ke tudu e. Ame ji gawa ke bompier.
Okay.
Ame be ho race course.
Ame free do.
Michele, I race don.
Aja me mi.
Wo boy say ka me blako kiosk ke komi e tudu. Beke, tudu. No me ke ya beach.
Kwagu. I show 2 minutes.
Ewa, ke bom Mahama nto ne ba chop bompi. Ke gawa. Sale
denje.
She Bawumia race course me. So the point we are making here can say at the end of the day, sa enyama on no say kikon kiti. But sa enyama kiti. It takes away.
Eguni penny sense.
So Mahama, you said Bawumia is not at your level. President Kufour is not at your level. He finished 8 years. He's serving his time in his retirement. Where he has gotten to Mahama. You have not gotten to the place yet. But it's too late now to apologize. The horses are out of the stable. The goats are dead. And they have found themselves at the butcher shop. You can't revive them. It is. And yes, so to end, to make matters worse, then what's it Dela Edem say? Or Pacho. You used your mouth, your own words, and you insulted President Kufour and all persons living with disability. You offended the sensibilities of moral society. Then, what's it? Or the Bibiato, the Facebook wall. It is more insulting. Because minimum AI, what's it? Bobby by the AI, artificial intelligence. Who says that it is even Dela himself who did it? And you'll be the year cannot you. So that is even more abusive. It's more disrespectful. And to make matters worse, what I read said was Pacho not say he apologizes for his wheelchair comment. Come on.
What about the rest?
Thank you. Only the wheelchair comment? What about the heavy insults you heaped on the former president? What about the insults you heaped on moral society? What about on the conscience of moral society? What about the insults on all persons living with disability? You don't have the humility of heart to go back to Mugabe's program and go and sit there, let us see your face and be able to read your eyeballs and say that you actually mean it or not. You should go and take that apology, as Kweku Baku used to say. You should go and tell that apology to the Marines. Yeah, you should go and tell it to the Marines. Okay. Are we small boys in this country? So there's no apology. As far as I'm concerned, there is no apology.
That's it.
Koda
Media TV so na atiefo mutie yen menua
ano to any semo ekoso aba fontenta fide kese no eso ya mesre se won so ba na watewonte ho na wasan ahye de ama afoforo mo so ewo etirichiri ene bente medin e de odoman komoba na Kofi from Ashanti wudi